Hi guys, it's Ray here from Man City Fan Chat. Well, today I want to talk about a kid called Angelino. Now you might remember that name because he used to play for City and we sold him last summer. And it's very interesting because it appears that City might be buying him back. Now I'm going to go through the whole story, tell you a little bit about Angelino, what he did at City and why City might be wanting to buy him back. Now Angelino is a Spanish kid. He's 22 years old right now. He's 5'7" tall, about 170, 171, similar to me. And we bought him in 2014 and he stayed at City for 4 years. Now Angelino, I'll tell you his full name and why we call him Angelino. His full name is Jose Angel Esmorris Tasend. I think that's right. So we call him Angelino and we're going to stick with Angelino. He's a left back. And as I said, he came for 4 years at City. Now, I think did he make his debut against Aston Villa? Played a few minutes at the end of a game where I think we battered them 4-0. But subsequently, he's been pretty much loaned out from City. So he was loaned out to New York City FC in the MLS in America, Girona in Spain, Mallorca in Spain, and his last loan spell was at NAC Breda, who then were playing in the Eredivisie in Holland. Now, he did really well at NAC Breda. I think he was, at the end of the season, in the Eredivisie team of the season. And at NAC Breda for the club, he won 4 Rookie of the Month awards. So, he was basically a top kid coming through. And end of last season, Manchester City sold Angelino for 5.5 million euros to PSV Eindhoven, who also play in the Eredivisie in Holland. Now, I said so at the time last year. I said I felt that was way too cheap. Selling this kid for 5.5 million euros, I thought he was worth best part of 8 or 10 million euros at a minimum. What I'd seen of him at New York City, the way he'd played at NEC Breda, to my mind, he was worth at least double what we got for him. But you've got to look back and you've got to look at this Man City's business model and the way they work with selling some youngsters. Now, Man City buy a lot of young kids. I've said it many, many times. We buy a lot of young kids. Very, very few of them will make it through to play in the first team. If you look in recent past, our top 3 kids that have come through, Phil Foden, Brahim Diaz and Jadon Sancho. And only Phil Foden is sticking around. And that's because he loves Man City. He's a City fan. Brahim Diaz was sold last year, I think in January to Real Madrid for about 50 million quid. And Jadon Sancho was sold the year before to Dortmund for about 8 or 10 million quid. He kind of went on strike. He wasn't going to play. He had 1 year left on his contract. So, we cut our losses and got rid of him. And we just let him go. Now, one of the reasons to sell players so cheaply to clubs, that's basically what we're doing, selling players on cheaply, is City put a buyback clause in there and a sell-on clause normally. And it gives the buying club a huge incentive to develop this player. Because if you take someone on loan, I think it happened to Angelino the first time he went to Girona, he didn't have a good loan spell there, I don't think. And it happens to other players. You go out on loan, you don't hit it off with the manager or something. Look at Douglas Luiz. When he went to Girona the first time, he did get on with the coach or whatever, and he ended up having a pretty lousy season. Okay? He didn't get the game time. He didn't get the development he needed. Now, selling players to clubs cheaply gives them an incentive to develop those players because they look at it from the viewpoint, if we develop this player, we invest our time, effort, and everything else into this player, he'll get better and he'll be a great player for us. Okay, now if City come back and buy him back from us, we'll get a nice profit. Now, the figures are, I read it in Football Orange, which is a website dedicated to football in Holland or the Netherlands, and they'd got their story from a Spanish paper, I believe. Now, City sold Angelino for 5.5 million euros to PSV Eindhoven. City's buyback clause is 12 million euros, okay? So that means that City, if we do buy him back this summer, we're going to pay PSV Eindhoven 12 million euros for this kid. So it's a win-win for PSV Eindhoven. They've got this kid, they developed him, and in 1 year, it's only 1 year, they bought him for 5.5 million, selling him for 12, 6.5 million euros profit. That's huge. It is huge in terms of Dutch football. €6.5 million is a significant amount of money. It allows them to go out and buy, one or two more players about the same sort of level. And so it's a great idea from City. I think other clubs do it too, but it's a great concept. Sell them cheaper than they need to be to get them into another club, and the club will invest their time, effort and money in this kid. So why is City going to buy him back for €12 million? There's got to be a reason for it. And the reason is apparently lots of other clubs are sniffing around Angelino. Now, I've read that Napoli are interested, Borussia Dortmund are interested, Arsenal are interested, even Barcelona are sniffing around him, and PSG. And it's rumoured that PSG are willing to pay up to €25 million for Angelino. Now, City have two choices. I mean, we can just buy and sell him. Buy him for €12 million, sell him for 20, €25 million, and walk away with a hefty profit, having done nothing for the last year with this kid. We've not developed him, we've not done anything for the last year. But as I said, it's part of the business model. It's part of what City do to create extra money for the club. I mean, last year we sold Pablo Maffeo, Angelino, we sold Angus Gunn for about 12 to 15 million quid. I think we sold Enis Unal, who never even played for City and never even came to Manchester, I don't believe it. We got him, sent him out on loan straight away. A year later, he's done a really good job, and he was sold off. So that was the year before. So a lot of money can be generated using this business model. So City have that choice. Are we going to get him? Are we going to sell him on for 25 million? Or are we going to keep him? Are we going to keep him ourselves? I think it's unlikely, though. I think it's unlikely. Some people are wondering if City are going to keep him. If he was a right back, I could see, the argument for keeping him. As a left back, he's fighting against Ben Mendy, who'll be first choice. He's fighting against Zinchenko, who's second choice. And if Danilo stays, Danilo's there as well. There's a lot of pressure on that position. Okay, a lot of people want to play left back, and Angelino will be in the mix amongst any of them. I don't know if he's good enough. He's not. I don't think he's better than Ben Mendy, for instance. But he's a good combative defender with a lot of pace. I like the look of him. If you see these pictures, full of tattoos, and whether we keep him at City or whether we sell him on again, I don't think really matters. If we keep him, we're getting a very good player. But who can possibly... He could end up being second choice when Zinchenko moves into midfield. No idea, but really what's going to happen. But I think Zinchenko will play left back. I think we'll sell Angelino. I think that's the way it's going to be. If we can make 8, 10, 12 million euros for doing nothing, basically, it's pretty much all we're doing is nothing, PSV I know of and adding for the last year, then I think it's a great way to go forward for City. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the new YouTube channel, it would be fantastic if you could do so. If you can hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We've got a big target trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the start of the new season. We'll have a big giveaway for that 1,000 subscriber landmark, and look forward to you guys contributing. Let me know in the comments below whether you think it's worth getting him back and selling him on, or worth getting him back and keeping him. What are your thoughts on Angelino and the business model that City have? See you around, Blues.